Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. That's all I can say for these. Look at these IM. Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today I'll be reviewing the Celest Phoenixcall. Phoenixcall is an IM by Celest. Celest is a sister company to Kinera, and Kinera absolutely makes some of the fantastic looking IMs I have seen in the IM industry. As you saw from the intro of this video, look at these IMs. These are absolutely wonderful. These look beautiful. I mean, seriously, from the day I saw them during the launch, I was really enamored by the Celest Phoenixcall just in terms of look. Generally, I do not care how an IM looks. For me, the sound is the most important thing. But I think so the Celest Phoenixcall is the first IM wherein I was enamored by the sound. Enamored by the looks rather than the sound. I did not care how these sounded. But yeah, as we'll find out in the review, that these do also sound good, and you have seen the review title, so you'll see how good these are. And I just want to say big thanks to HiFiGo for sending this review unit. You can check HiFiGo.com out, as they have everything from the dongle DACs to an ultra budget IM, from the $20 range to the most expensive DACs, DAPs, headphones and IMs imaginable. They also have various other audio products of your choice, and they offer great international shipping options too. I have personally shopped from HiFiGo once, and by the way, I just want to say, although they have sent me the review unit, they are not seeing this video before you guys are seeing, and neither do they have any review input in this video. All the thoughts and opinions are about to hear are my own. So before we talk about the sound quality, let's talk about the build quality, comfort and the accessories. So build quality, again, I'm sorry if it is getting repetitive, but just look at these look absolutely beautiful. I mean, the look of the IM, these flying birds, that is absolutely wonderful. I love this. I mean, that is that. And these two have that fantastic design, this is for the right side and this is for the left side, so that works out really well. Also the cable, I just want to quickly talk about the cable. It has this double weave of pink and blue color, that also looks really good. And why I want to talk about this cable is because there is also something called as NiceHex Sweet Life, if I'm not wrong. It is this exact same cable which looks same. This is a 8 core and that is a 12 core, if I'm not wrong. That NiceHex Sweet Life cable, which is a 12 core, it sells for $99. It is the exact same cable. If I have a picture, I'll just pop it up over here so you can see that is $99 just for the cable. And this entire IM with this cable and this IM and with this tips is $129. So I just want to put it out over there. Also, you can see this Divinus smooth velvet tips. I just want to thank HiFiGo again for sending this with the Celest Phoenixcall to test it out. I'll just quickly talk about these tips on the sound in the sound section as to why I did not use these tips, but why I would use this tips with some other IMs. Talking about the cable I would say is a bit stiff and might have kinks over the long periods of use. But then again, this is a nitpick. I would say the cable is actually quite good overall. Big in size. Although they are quite big in size, I would say they're quite comfortable to wear. I would say just you do some kind of tip rolling, or if you're trying the stock tips, which there are two types of tips, and I would say try to wear a size below than you generally wear, so that could help. But still, regardless of that, I would say the nozzle size is quite large and people with smaller hair might have issues. The case that it comes with is actually also quite good. It's quite compact, very thin. You can pocket it daily. But still, I would say the case which comes with BGVP P05, which I have reviewed in my channel, you can go and watch it. That has the best case in my opinion, because although this case is quite good and you can carry the IM easily around it, it doesn't have any. Although this has a mesh, but you cannot put any dongle DAC or any kind of DAC and carry it around. What the BGVP P05 case does is you can carry the IM plus a dongle DAC around easily while staying petite enough that you can carry it on your pocket and daily. At this price point of $129, I would have expected a modular cable, but I wouldn't say that's a bit of a nitpick. But and the reason still I mention this is because at the same price point you do get the Lecture S12 Pro, which has a modular cable. I would have liked to seen that, but then again, I don't think so it's a big deal, because most of them will be using the 3.5 anyway. But I still wanted to mention that these are surprisingly easy to drive, although more power does benefit the Celest Phoenixcall. So if you could, a small dongle DAC or something like that would be nice. The tips which it comes with are I would say a bit anemic for the price, because just two pair of tips, although good for me, it was fitting quite well. Some people might have some issues, so a pair of foam tips would have been nice, because many people do have issues with silicone tips and the fits. So a pair of foam tips would have been nice. So there are two tips over here. I'm personally using the white tips, which is included in the box for the review. And talking about the Divinus tips, I have used them with these. So when I talk about the sounds sound about this. I'll just quickly talk about this and then move on to the main sound section. So yeah, also one more thing I just want to mention as usual is the Celest and the lore of their IEM. So this is called the Phoenixcall. Yeah, this is the lore. You can pause it and read it if you want. Again, as usual, some might find it very tacky, some might find it useless. I actually quite like it, you know, these kind of things. So you also get this bookmark from Celest, which is absolutely beautiful. These are two phoenixes which are chasing each other, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there's the tail, there's the phoenix, there's the phoenix, and that's the tail. So yeah, so I quite like it. I don't know what's your opinion on this, you know, do share in the comment section. Celest does it a lot and I absolutely love it. Some might not. I have heard, you know, differing opinions on this. So I'll quickly talk about the Celest Phoenixcall and its name from where it derives. So the Phoenixcall is derived from the Chinese mythology called as Shanhai Jin, also known as the classic of the mountain of seas. It's a plot which involves a detailed description of the locations in the cardinal directions of the mountains, regions beyond seas, region within seas, and the wilderness. The descriptions are usually of medicines, animals, and geological features. So the Phoenixcall is an animal over here. So in this booklet where you can see they have detailed the story quite a bit. And the packaging, I would just want to say here, this is the box. This is an absolutely fantastic packaging from Celest. This is something I would expect at the range of $300 to $500, and I will not be disappointed, and I'll be really happy. So the packaging is fantastic for this price of $130. The build quality of the IM is also really good. These are made of resin shell, quite good, and the BAs, as you can see, are not inside the nozzle, but rather inside the driver. So that is a pet peeve of mine. You know, it becomes shouty when it is inside the nozzle. It is not over here, so that is quite good. They have a 1DD, 2B, and 2 FPD configuration. It has 7mm DD for the low frequencies, a customized BA driver for the mid frequencies, another customized BA driver for the mid-high frequencies, and finally 2 FPD or flat planar driver for the ultra-high frequencies. So yeah, these are the Divinus velvet tips which HiFiGo sent me with the Celest Phoenixcall. These are actually really good tips, but I still didn't use them for the Phoenixcall because there is one reason. One of the main reason is that whenever I was using the velvet tips, what it did was it did mellow out the treble region quite a bit, which I actually quite liked. But what happened with that also is that the bass was stuck quite a bit, which I didn't like. So that was one of the main reason I didn't use the velvet tips. So if you have some IM wherein it's quite bassy and you want to tuck the bass a bit and smoothen out the treble, I think so for that this is a really good tip. I really do like the tip. I do use it with other IM, but just not with the Celest Phoenixcall. So hence I was just using the stock tips which it came with it, and I was using that for the review. The overall sound signature of this I would categorize it as V-shape, but also I would say is musical. So whenever you're listening to this IM, you will not think of the bass, you will not think of the treble, vocals, or anything like that. You will just enjoy your music, which is what I think so an IM should be, right? At the end of the day, you just want to enjoy your music, and this does it very well. Although I will talk about the tidbits and all the nitpicks which I have with this IM, but I just want to say, if you just want to get something musical, you know, just want to enjoy, and you want something really good looking, the Celest Phoenixcall is it. But let's talk about the details and everything in terms of sound. So one more place the Celest Phoenixcall excels at, and is the reason why I'm using it a lot more, is because it excels at low volume listening. Because of its V-shaped nature and how the IM is designed, I would say it really excels at low volume listening. Most of the IMs, if I have to enjoy the entire sonic range, I would have to bump up the volume a bit, which I don't really like it, and is not really good for your ears. So I really want to listen to a low volume, and the Celest Phoenixcall excels at that. There is a slight BA timbre I hear, but it's nothing glaringly obvious wherein it will hamper your listening experience, nothing like that. And my overall sound impression is based on these white tips which comes inside the box. Let's talk about the bass. The bass is very punchy and dynamic. I really love the sub bass it gives out. It does fail my hollow 16-bit remix text by Bjork, wherein the bass drop I do not feel that same skull shaking rumble as I would like. But then again, this is a nitpick because that is something I look for an expensive IM, not in this $130 IM, but I still thought of mentioning it. I wouldn't describe the bass as a bass head IM, nor as a bass lacking. it has a very happy middle ground wherein everyone will enjoy the bass. Barring my hollow test aside, in every other song the sub bass was really fantastic. I loved it. It had that dynamicness in the bass I was searching for, and all the details in the bass region I wanted. The mid bass isn't muddy either, and it works well in tandem with the sub bass. I think so the IM does a great job in especially the rap and the hip hop genre, and it also does a great job in alt rock and rock, which I quite listen to a lot. And the bass doesn't feel muddy at all. It has very good tactility, very good dynamicness. Talking about the mid-range is a bit scooped out. Then again, this is something expected for the price and also the sound signature. The male vocals, although sound quite good for the price, although Chris Cornell's and Bill Withers' vocals don't sound as velvety I would have liked here, but they do sound good. The female vocals is where this IM again shines at, because I absolutely adore Kyue Yoshioka's vocal in Hanawa Sakura and Sakura by Ikimonogakari, Hana Yamazaki's Anu Yumini. They sound like you're at a private jazz club or you're a private session, and they're just singing for you. And you know, it sounds so awesome. It sounds like they're giving a private performance to you. It is really good, the female vocals over here. And as someone who listens to a lot of female vocals, I was really happy with that. For the folks who are sensitive to PSE vocals and shouty vocals, you know, they might have issues with this IM at higher volumes, so do keep that in mind. Talking about the treble, I would say the treble is really good, but for the folks who are shouty, who are sensitive to treble, who find any kind of treble to be PSE or shouty, they might have issue with this. The treble extension is also quite decent. A bit smoother lower treble and good treble extension would have made this really good at this price range, but then again, this is a nitpick. If these were there for the treble, I would say these are like a no-brainer recommendation at this price. They still are, but a bit of a smoother lower treble and a good treble extension would have been really nice, and I would have liked to see that over here. The timbre of the treble is a bit where it does sound a bit artificial sometimes, not all the time. So when there is a lot of happening in the song, that time the timbre of the treble falls off a bit, and you do feel that congestion, and you do feel that PSA and the shoutiness of the treble in this over here. Again, for the price, I would consider this a nitpick, but again, I do want to mention all the nitpicks of everything over here. Technicalities, these are very good for the technicalities for the price. Instrument separation is also quite good. I really like them. Despite of them being a V-shape IM, the technicalities are actually quite good. Soundstage is quite average for this price. It isn't congested, neither is it expansive, but it has quite an average height and also the average width of the soundstage. Talking about the imaging of this IM, I would say the imaging is quite good. Sometimes it fascinated me as to how good the imaging was, because I think so this is a really good imaging for this. This is more apparent when you're watching some media like a movie or a TV show, wherein it takes use of that imaging. Sometimes the transitioning from left to right or vice versa was a bit too much for the driver to handle, so it might get muddied up in the imaging, but then again, it's a nitpick, but I still thought of mentioning it over here. Now, gaming test. This is a test which I'm trying to do for all the IMs, regardless if it is a gaming IM or a normal IM. These are quite good for gaming. The average soundstage and the good imaging really works in its favor. Although when there is a lot of happening in the game, a lot of things happening in the game, or there are a lot of gunshots, it might become too much for it to handle for treble wise. So do keep that in mind. And that time you might feel PSE or shoutiness of the treble inside on your ear, and you might have to take it off. So that is one issue which I find. One more thing, I would say, for if you do a low volume gaming, then this is quite good, but then again, this doesn't have a mic, so do keep that in mind. Now, yeah, that is generally the review for this. Now let's talk about the recommendation. Do I recommend this IM? Honestly, yes. I mean, even if you don't care about the sound signature, just for the looks alone, I do really recommend this IM. I absolutely love the looks of this IM. I'm really biased over here. But if you do have a spare $130, just buy this IM for the looks. These are really awesome. Jokes apart, if you do like a V-shaped IM and want a really good imaging with it, and an IM which looks really good, I don't think so you can go wrong with it, because the Celest Phoenixcall absolutely sounds awesome for what it is. And even if you're not a bass head or not a fan of V-shaped IM, you will enjoy the musicality this IM offers. I know this is not everyone's cup of tea, but then again, the musicality this IM offers is really good. Again, yeah, this does have some negatives which I have mentioned in the sound section of the review, but then again, everything is trumped by the overall sound quality this this IEM offers. I think so it's really good at what it does. So yeah, that was a review of the Celest Phoenixcall. This is an IEM I really wanted to review, and when HiFiGo asked did I wanted to review this, I jumped at this opportunity. So I want to say big thanks again to HiFiGo for sending this review unit out. And you know, all the thoughts and opinions you heard were all my own. If you do have extra $130 and are looking for an IEM at this price range, if you do want a V-shaped IEM, if you want something fun, then do buy this IEM. It's really good. Also, one more thing which I forgot to mention is when I was wearing this IEM outside, there were 2 to 3 people who came up to me and asked what are these IEMs, and because they really like the design of this. So I did get compliment on the design of this IEM while wearing outside. So yeah, I just want to mention that this is a really good IEM for the price. Again, I might sound I'm a bit of fanboy for this IEM because of the design. That is sort of true, but then again, it does sound good. Barring some of the negatives which it has, so do keep that in mind. Also, the Divinus velvet tips is also quite nice. I would say if you do have something which is a very bass heavy, or which is something you know, the treble is uneven kind of IEM, and if you want to try something, I think the velvet tips works really well for that, and it is very smooth for that. The nozzle diameter is a bit short. I was a bit skeptical of that, but it does fit up to 6mm without any issues, and it has worked really good for that. Yeah, so that was a review of the Celest Phoenixcall from me. I really like this IEM. I hope you liked my review. If you do like my review, please do like, please do subscribe. That helps out a lot. If you do have any questions for this IEM, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll help you out as much as possible. Yeah, please do like and subscribe. It really helps out a lot, and it really helps me to bring in these reviews a lot to you. And if you do subscribe, please do hit the bell notifications. That also helps. And yeah, thanks for watching this review, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.